finance fees, and then there is an operating lease.
There are internal auditors everywhere. Then how did that Vijay Mallya fraud even happen?
Gross profit will give me the sales.
Are internal auditors as independent as external auditors?
Hi everyone, welcome back to Financial Management class. So today we are going to discuss chapter 2, which is time value of money. So before I begin this chapter, let me first make a statement that $1 today is greater than $1 tomorrow. Now, what does this line mean? For this, I'm going to ask you guys one interesting question. But this question is a hypothetical scenario. Alright? So, your question is, basically, I'm going to give you two options. Option 1, rupees 30 crores right now. Or option 2, rupees 6 lakhs per month into your bank account until you die. So you have two options now. Either to choose 30 crores right now or rupees 6 lakhs per month into your bank account until you die. So I'll give you all 30 seconds to think over this. Now, most of you might choose option 2 because it looks lucrative, right? It seems like, wow, 6 lakhs per month until we die, this should be sufficient. But of course, I'm sure that there are set of students who might have chosen option 1, that is 30 crores right now. What would I choose? I would definitely go with option 1. And why is that? Let's understand. So this entire concept is about time value of money, which simply means that money has value and that value can decrease or increase over a period of time. So, let me tell you guys why you should be choosing 30 crores right now and not 6 lakhs per month into your bank account till you die. So, some of you might say that we don't know when we're going to die and all of it, so it's better to take 30 crores right now. Now, that is also right, but we are studying financial management, so obviously we need to know why this is a better option, right? So let's go back in time where you remember your grandparents used to tell you that we purchased land for 5,000 rupees and your grandmother shows you a beautiful jewelry and she says this was just 500 rupees. Now, can this happen today? Can you buy a land worth 5,000 rupees? Can you buy jewelry worth 500 rupees? Obviously not, right? It's impossible. You'll not even get artificial for that rate. Why? It's because of the concept time value of money, which simply says that $1 today is worth more than $1 tomorrow. Which means that the money that you have right now, for example, if I have a 10 rupees note in my hand, the value of this 10 rupees is 10 rupees. But going forward, I can't guarantee you that the value of this 10 rupees will remain the same. Like 5,000 rupees back then could buy you a land, but 5,000 rupees today will not get you anywhere. Think of the petrol prices. It's shooting up, right? Few years back, for 100 rupees, you could buy so much petrol. And today, 400 rupees, you're hardly getting 1 liter of petrol. So what has happened over here? Can I say that the purchasing power of money has decreased? the same 100 rupees which could buy you so many things is not buying you enough today. So the reason why you should go for 30 crores right now is because imagine when you're 70, 80 years old. Do you think that this 6 lakhs per month into your bank account will be enough? Of course not, right? 6 lakhs even today is not enough. So imagine when you're old, when you have to go on a world tour, or you want to fund for your child's education or marriage or any other big expenditure, do you think 6 lakhs will be enough? Of course not. Now you might be thinking that this 6 lakhs I will invest and I'll get return from it. Now, even if you think in that angle, still 30 crores is better for you. Why do I say this? FD, fixed deposit, which of course is not a great investment in today's time because it's not giving you much return. It's giving you just 6 or 7% return. So even if you consider FD and if you invest 30 crores in an FD and if it can generate you 6 or 7%, still you will end up getting more than 6 lakhs per month. So that's why before you make a financial decision, do consider the concept of time value of money. And now I hope you guys are satisfied with why you should be choosing 30 crores right now. Take this 30 crores, invest it in mutual funds, shares and real estate, so many other options, and this is only going to compound over a period of time. You all know Warren Buffett, right? How is he one of the richest person in the world? It's simply because he started investing at a very early age. And he said that compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. Now, what is compounding? Let's go back to our school days. 8th standard. Simple interest, compound interest. What was simple interest? You invest 100 rupees at 10% rate of interest. After 1 year, it becomes 110. But compound interest works in a different way, right? Your compound interest, it multiplies. It is interest on interest. So, let's now understand the concept of compounding and the opposite of compounding, which is discounting, which is a very important concept in time value of money. So, everybody now here is satisfied with the answer that 100 rupees that you keep in your wallet, after few years, it's not going to become 200 or 500 rupees. It's going to be 100 rupees only, right? So, that's the reason you have to put the money to work. How long we'll work for money? There has to be a time when the money has to work for us, right? So that is the power of compounding. Now, why are we discussing so much about compounding and the opposite of compounding, discounting? Because remember, going back to our ice cream example, there were 3 important decisions to be taken: investing decisions, financing decisions, and dividend decisions. So your investing decisions is all about investing in projects which is for more than a year. And the moment you invest your hard-earned money, whose money? Shareholders' ka money, which you're investing in projects, and it is going to be there for more than a year. So obviously you will have to take time value of money into consideration. That becomes even more important because you should see whether the project that you're going to undertake, is it worth it or not? Is it worth investing that much? So for that, we have different investment appraisal techniques, which we will be discussing in chapter 3. To understand all of that, it's important for us to understand the basics. And what are those basics? It's your compounding and discounting. So, let's say compounding and discounting. So, opposite of compounding is discounting. Compounding calculates the future value. Discounting calculates the present value. For example, example, if I want to know $100, if I invest at the rate of 10% for 1 year, what will be the value? So I'm going to use our famous compounding formula which we studied in 8th standard, which simply says present value into 1 plus r the whole to the power n is future value, which means $100 if you invest it at the rate of 10%. 10% means what? 10 divided by 100. 10 divided by 100 in decimals, it is 0.1 is equal to how much? So 100 into 1.1. Simple maths, 100 will become $110. So now this 100 is your present value. This 110 is your future value, which means that $100 invested today at the rate of 10% for 1 year is going to become $110. So what did we do over here? We used the same formula which was taught to you guys in 8th standard to calculate the future value. Now, using the same formula, we can also calculate what is the present value. Let's do that. So we know that the formula was this, right? Present value into 1 plus r the whole to the power n is equal to future value. But now I want to calculate the present value. So what will I do? I will interchange the formula. So I will write present value is equal to future value is anyways this side. This whole thing will go in the denominator, basic maths guys, which we studied in school. So this will come down divided by 1 plus r the whole to the power n. So what are we doing over here? We are calculating the present value. So the same formula can be written like this: future value into 1 divided by 1 plus r the whole to the power n. Which means, what's your future value in our question? It is $110, right? So it is going to be 110 into 1 divided by 1 plus r. So r was 10%. So 10% means 0.1. So 1 plus 0.1 is going to be 1.1. So 1 divided by 1.1. When you solve this, you're going to get your answer. So let's quickly solve it. So 1 divided by 1.1. You all can use your calcies and check it. Let me use mine. So when you do 1 divided by 1.1, you'll get 0.909. Alright. And 110 into 0. When you do 110 into 0.909, if you take the whole decimals, you will get the present value, which is $100, which is your present value. So we have seen over here how we calculated the future value and how we calculated the present value by using a simple formula, that is present value into 1 plus r the whole to the power n, which is equal to future value. Now, can you see over here this 1 divided by 1 plus r? These things, what is this called? Let me put it in a new sheet. So, our formula was present value into 1 plus r the whole to the power n, which is equal to future value. Correct? So, this was the formula that we use for compounding. The same formula, when interchanged, will be present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus r the whole to the power n. This is called discounting. Correct? So, let's now see how this actually works. As I told you, this can be written like this also. Future value into 1 divided by 1 plus r the whole to the power n. So, this portion of the formula, no, this is your discount factor. Now, you might be wondering, what is this discount factor? Correct? So, what generally happens is, whenever we are making an investment, let's say I want to start my own business, and because I want to start my own business, I want to, obviously I have to invest, right? So, let's say I want to invest 10 lakhs. So, if I want to invest 10 lakhs, obviously I'll expect some return from the project, right? I'll say, okay, year 1 I'll get 5 lakhs, year 2 3 lakhs, year 3 say 4 lakhs. So what happens? Every year I'm going to get a cash flow. Year 1, year 2, year 3. But what will I have to do? I will have to convert those future cash flows to present value. Why am I doing this? Because I want to check whether this investment of mine is good to go or not. Whether this investment of mine is viable or not. And that's what we're going to study in the further chapters. So, before we get into those complex calculations, let's do simple calculations of converting from present value to future value. Okay. So, all of you can see this question. 7,500 is invested now for 4 years at an interest rate of 6%. Correct? So, we have all the details over here. 7,500 is invested now. And what are they asking? Calculate the amount received after 4 years. So basically they want to know what is the future value. So if I invest today 7,500, what will be my future value if I am expecting a rate of 6% and if I am investing the money for 4 years? I think the question is clear. Correct? So let's now solve it using the formula that we studied. We all know present value into 1 plus r the whole to the power n is future value. Correct? So present value, I am investing 7,500. 1 plus, what is the rate of interest? 6%. And you know 6% means 6 divided by 100, which is 0.06. The whole to the power n, which is 4, will give you your future value. So can you all quickly solve this? So I'm taking a calci. 1 plus 0.06 is 1.06. So 7,500 into 1.06. What is the answer that you get? 7950. Okay, this is where you have to learn. This is for 1 year. Now if it was for 1 year, it would be 7950. But this amount is being compounded for 4 years, right? So to the power 4. So what will you do? 1.06 into 1.06 into 1.06 into 1.06. So that's when you get the value. How much do you get? 1. Into 7,500. Yes. So when you solve this, 7,500 into, you have the feature x to the power y in your calci which you can use. square. So you can do 1.06 into 1.06, then click equal to. And then you'll get for third year. Then again equal to, you'll get it for fourth year. So it's going to be 1.2624 and it goes on. So multiply that into 7,500. You'll get 9468. So what is this 9468? This is the future value. So this 7,500, if you invest today at the rate of 6% for 4 years, it's going to become 9,468. So what did we do over here? We converted the present value to future value. Let's now do one more problem. Okay, I'll create my own problem. Okay, so let's do one more problem, which is where we are calculating the present value. All right, so let's say $5,000. Okay, $5,000 is to be received in 3 years. $5,000 to be received in 3 years, and the rate of interest is 10%. So they are asking you calculate the present value. What is the present value? This is the question. Clear? So what do you have to do now? You want to know that you want to get how much? You want to get $5,000 after 3 years. So you want to know how much you have to invest today so that you get $5,000 at the rate of 10%. So how will that work? Just apply the same formula. You know that present value is equal to future value divided by 1 plus r the whole to the power n. So 5,000 divided by 1 plus rate of interest is 10%, so 0.1 the whole to the power 3. This is going to give you your present value. Correct? So this same formula can actually be calculated this way. Right? We can write it as 5,000 into 1 divided by 1.01 the whole to the power 3. Now where will you get these figures? That's your next question. You can either do it in your Calci or you can refer to the discount tables. So your discount tables will be given to you in the exam. You don't have to worry about it, but you will also need to know how to calculate it in Calci. Okay, so if you're doing 1 divided by 1.01 sorry, 1, this becomes 1.1. 1 divided by 1.1, because 1 plus 0.1 is 1.1. So 1 divided by 1.1 is 0.909. Again click equal to in your Calci, you'll get the discount factor for second year. Again click equal to, you'll get the discount factor for 3 years. So to calculate your discount factors, okay, discount factors can be calculated in 2 ways. Either you can use your Calci or you can refer to the present value tables. Okay, calculator obviously you can take it to your exam. Present value tables will be given to you in the exam. So how do you do this? 1 divided by 1.1. So first year the discount factor is going to be 0.909. Second year it will be 0.826. Third year it will be 0.751. I know it by heart because I've been teaching this, but don't worry, you will also get there. So let's now refer to the tables first. Meanwhile, you can also try it in your Calci. It's taking some time to load, so let's first do it in the Calci. 1 divided by 1.1. First year 0.909. Again click equal to, it is 0.826. Again click equal to, it is 0.752. So 5000 into 0.752. You're gonna get your answer when you solve this, which is 3,756. So what does this mean? If you invest 3,756 today at the rate of 10% for 3 years, it's going to become $5,000. So that's how we calculated the present value. So this was calculation of present value, which we generally call as discounting. And in this particular problem, we calculated the future value, which is nothing but compounding. Now, how to select the discount factors from the table, I'll show it to you guys in the next video.